is a World-Class Bullshitters exclusive.
She-Hulk is coming. Insert dirty joke here. An offshoot of everyone's favorite green rage monster, She-Hulk is getting her own series, and men everywhere couldn't give a shit. Let's be fair, the ladies too. Most women couldn't give a shit about She-Hulk, but the people making it are focused on gender more than the show itself. Before Ghostbusters 2016, people talked about films because they seemed exciting. Films were talked about on their merit, not the messaging behind them. Then, right after the 2016 election, every filmmaker made it their duty to put their politics before the work, and the results have been disastrous. Earlier this week, we talked about the Marvel slump and how it's real. Marvel films now make 50% less of what they used to. So of course Disney is going to double down and push it in the same direction that's not going to help them grow. Their goal is to reach the untapped markets, so of course they go for the women. It's not like women have ever watched a Marvel film before. It's not like they make Thor to appeal to women or any of the other characters. These guys can get fawned over left and right, but if someone mentions tits, Scarlett Johansson and A-hole Force show up to tell you to grow up or stop having a pulse. Men, do better. Even as a joke, I can't say that honestly. I want to vomit. Feminism in the MCU is as important as Uncle Ben in the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. You'll never hear me say more feminism in entertainment is a good thing. That's how we got the power trip and asshat in charge of Star Wars. Do you want more of the sequel trilogy? I know I don't. Most don't either. And I'm not wanting any of the She-Hulk after reading this shit right here. She-Hulk attorney-at-law director Kat Corio has confirmed that the two most important aspects to the next MCU's entry development were inclusivity and making sure that the story was told through the female lens. Oh boy. Person of non-specific gender. Corio provided the insight to the series' focus during a recent interview given to Entertainment Weekly. Asked by staff writer Sydney Bucksbaum how having a team of all women behind the camera influenced the series' production, the director asserted, "I will be so excited on the day when it is not a big deal." Well, let's stop right there for a second, Kat Corio. Today could have been that day. But you made it about that. See, they don't want to make the change. They want to keep selling the shows on all women and all that, but folks, now that we know that all women are behind the camera, we know who's to blame. Nobody, because if you do, you're a sexist. We're not there yet, she opined. But I hope this show is a part of that movement where it's just accepted that some shows are predominantly led by women because that's how life is. What if we have a show that's predominantly led by men? Oh wait, we change it. This is going to be fun. It was definitely something we talked about, inclusivity and making sure that the story was told through the female lens. How is it inclusivity if it's all women? My voice isn't going to be heard on She-Hulk. And you know what? Even for the sake of a joke, I don't want my voice heard on She-Hulk. Fuck that show. Comic books have traditionally, in the art, been through the male gaze, and so there was a lot of talk about what the female gaze is and how do we create it from our point of view. Well, mostly men read comic books, but as soon as you try to make them appeal to more women, people stop buying books. The director then revealed that with these goals in mind, one thing that always comes back to was the wish fulfillment elements of getting to see her walking down a dark alley and someone gives her a hard time and she's able to kick their butts. It was something that every single woman could relate to, any woman of any age, explained Corio. How exciting would it be to walk home in the dark and not to worry? She-Hulk is able to walk home, and while wearing headphones and not worry because she has the power to not feel vulnerable physically. And I think that's a pretty unique thing that only a group of women could have brought to this, among other much more nuanced things as well. Well, She-Hulk was created by a man to save a copyright. So no matter what you want to say, this is still the female version of a male show. It is She-Hulk. Whatever pronouns you want to put in front of Hulk, they Hulk, him Hulk, it all sucks, unless it's the Incredible Hulk. Putting forth one example of such nuanced things, Corio recalled, we talked a lot about women feeling the need to be polite. If some guy comes up to you in a bar, it's obvious what he wants, but you don't have to offend him because you're afraid of being rude. Jennifer Walters has this new part of herself that she doesn't have to temper, that she doesn't have to put up with these things. She doesn't want to have to put up with, the director said. Jennifer Walters doesn't have to put up with that crap. I don't have to watch this show. I have more power than She-Hulk because I'm real and she's not. We're all laughing at the fact how insecure you people are. I need She-Hulk to make me feel strong. I need She-Hulk to make me be able to walk down the street. No, the fuck you don't. You need 2 feet and a fucking desire to get somewhere. That's what you need to get down the street, not this green bitch. Further, in response to Bucksbaum's inquiring as how the series will tackle and evolve the concept of the rage in the Hulk mythos, and particularly what it means for Jen and her mean green alter ego, Corio affirmed to the host, I think we can both agree that female rage is much less accepted than male rage. The level of anger that is accepted by society is different between men and women. Yeah, let's look at the court system for a second. Who's gonna get more time for the same crime? Haha, Karens always get off. That's why Bill Burr makes fun of you people the most. Your fucking Gucci booted feet. You have no real problems. That's why we're worried about She-Hulk making us feel strong. Corio also emphasized that the topic of gender would also be explored through Jen's interactions with her Avenger cousin Bruce. And very quickly, it becomes clear that her experience is going to be very different, both physically and literally, and mentally, because of how they have operated differently in the world as men and women, she added. I love watching Bruce get completely thrown off his game of thinking that he's the teacher and realizing very quickly that she has things to teach him. Oh good, it's just like Rey Skywalker. I wonder who taught her that name. God damn, this sounds like shit. Absolute shit, Kevin's mom. What is it with the female power fantasy of being an unlikable douchebag? Why do women writers think that power equals douchebaggery? It can, but it doesn't always. But it will in She-Hulk, and the people on Twitter will yes queen every jilted, jaded decision by the main character. This show is setting itself up for failure because people like the creators of this show think that being strong means being a raging fanny. I wanted to use a different word here, the old Billy Butcher special, but I'm feeling festive and jovial, and I want to play a game. Hangman, anyone? Well, excuse me, hang woman? Hang person? Anyone? She-Hulk sounds like, fill in the blank at home. It's 4 letters, and if you can't guess, well then I'll see you next Tuesday and give you the answer. We're supposed to look up to heroes. They're supposed to represent something bigger than us. Shows like She-Hulk want us to deconstruct the show and frame it in the female lens. How about you wipe off that monocle, Mr. Peanut, and realize that the world doesn't like this brand of entertainment and never has. Unlikable characters are the downfall of modern politically driven entertainment. Rey from The Force Awakens, an unlikable know-it-all who doesn't work for her achievements. If this was a man, we'd be saying the same shit. She's perfect. She gets everything, including the family name, but she doesn't earn it. Her journey isn't special. It's not like Luke or Anakin's. They struggle with universal problems that modern movies like to remove. She-Hulk, though on TV, is going down the same path. Pedantic, daily life shit that appeals to less than half the audience. This is a comic book show. It's like when people tell me I'm supposed to feel a certain way about Black Panther. No. Stop assuming the universal experience is for white men only. If the diversity first shows you were producing were watched by all of your audience minus the white guys, you'd have dick. Why is it okay for She-Hulk to abuse her power? Why is her rage justified? We know the answer. Most won't say it. Double standards. Having your cake and eating it too should be reserved for Melissa McCarthy. Why the fuck do I need a talking to in my superhero show? I don't need deconstructed PSAs about how to treat women. How about a PSA for writers to create decent people as characters? Unlikable doesn't equal interesting. I dislike Jessica Jones for a myriad of reasons, and her vagina was not one of them. You know the old saying, sometimes a duck is just a duck? Well, in the case of She-Hulk, I know what I'm getting here way before it's out. The writer's personal trauma, in this day and age where trauma is very broad, isn't interesting. The worldview presented by this show isn't interesting. You know what would be? She-Hulk and the Incredible Hulk fighting giant robots in the desert. If that's too pedantic, how about having them on the run from the government? Oh wait, Marvel removed all the stakes from the MCU, so it's just a meandering mess of cinematic dreck and shitty fucking jokes. Leave it to DC to have the decency to cancel one of their garbage pieces of shit. Maybe DC doesn't need a Kevin Feige because this is what Kevin Feige wants. All the bad Marvel parts are his doing. Thanks, little Kev. The foot's looking a bit small, by the way. Before we get going, though, let's play a game. Beyond Hangman, 3 questions with Jeff. Today's subject, She-Hulk. Will She-Hulk have a big debut? How long until the audience ditches this one? Will there be a season 2? And I'm feeling festive and jovial, so here's a bonus question. Are you going to watch this piece of shit? I know I'm going to see a lot of no's in the comments, but that's okay. Now, tell me down there, but I'm asking one thing. Complete sentences, please. And also, while you're down there, check out some of the links. I'm a comic creator. I write, I draw, I do it all, and I've got some work under my belt. Check out Stealing Solo and sign up for Wokebusters right now. I'm also getting ready to put out a sign up for something coming this year that I've never done before. Get ready though, because it's going to be kind of hot. Oh, and before I go, I have a message for She-Hulk.
Now, remember what I told you.
Don't be a cunt.
So folks, thank you for watching. I know you're as tired of all this garbage entertainment as I am. So I gotta laugh at it, because if I don't, who knows what's going to happen? If you're a fan of these things, expect them to get shit on repeatedly. It used to not be the case. If you liked Spider-Man growing up, cool. I was lucky. Spider-Man was done well. Fuck, I'll even give Andrew Garfield the benefit of the doubt. But this bigger conversation about entertainment doesn't make entertainment smarter. It really makes it dumber. It's really trying to just undo the growth we've had as a society. There was better understanding among people, I don't know, 10 years ago, but something's happened fairly recently and it's ruined everything. And everything we get is just a response to that and a reaffirmation that things kind of suck, but it doesn't have to. See, folks, you can get other entertainment outside of the mainstream. Us, we are making stuff. That's what we're all about and continue to be all about. And I recommend everyone go out and do the same thing. This is the golden age of creation. You can do it yourself. I can do it myself. So go out and do it. The next great story is probably in your head. The next great story could be in your hand. And if you can't do it, find somebody else to get your story out there. Make a friend. It worked for Eastman and Laird. Now, I'm not calling you the next Eastman and Laird, but you could be. Hell, I could be. Probably am. But, I don't have a love for turtles. But I could develop one. So, folks, thank you for watching. I know you're very busy. The world's crazy. But you're going to want more of something to make you feel pretty good. That's WCBS, World Class Bullshitters. So do yourselves a favor. Go down, hit that subscribe button, and treat yourselves to our back catalog. We have thousands of videos here on the channel. Go back and watch them. Are you a Star Wars fan? You might be. Go back and check out our Star Wars coverage. Are you a Marvel fan? Go back and check out our Marvel coverage. And if you like live streams, we have some of the best of all time. Check out our classic WCBS episodes. Check out The High Council. Check out one of the best series ever to hit YouTube. We had so much fun, and the show still lives in a certain way, and it is coming back in the future. So folks, be on the lookout for that a little later. But enjoy your weekends, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
This is like that scene in The Matrix. Now, you could take the fucking red pill, right? Spend the rest of your life jacking off, crying into your chai tea, green latte, what the fuck. Or you could take the blue pill. Or was it the red pill? Anyway, take the other pill and quit being a cunt.
Which pill do you want me to take?
Just quit being a cunt, that's what I'm saying.